It is time we tell our own story by ourselves, in our own language, the African way. We are taught by our forefathers that we are all related in Africa. I believe in Africa. I believe in myself. This is Africa. My Africa. This is Getting Real with Fina. Rape is an invasion of somebody's mind, body, and soul. It is a very traumatic experience. It is even more traumatic when the victim is being blamed. Today, on your darling show, Getting Real with Fina, we are going to be discussing this problem, rape. What can we do to avoid this? I am your host, Fina Akhimien, but we shall be right back. Welcome back to your show, Getting Real with Fina. If you're just joining us, we are going to be discussing a very emotional one, rape. And to discuss this, I have two people in the studio today. But before I introduce my guest, we must take a look at an interview I had with a victim, someone who have first-hand experience on rape.
There was this advert on television about Miss Earth beauty pageant.
Okay.
And I was encouraged by my peers to go for it. I didn't have the money to purchase for the form, so I told my friend, who told me that, okay, she'll see what she can do about it. And then she told me to meet one of her friends, who was a guy. So we made the calls, and the guy said he was at home and that we should come. Okay.
To the guy's house?
Yes, to the guy's house. And after getting set to go there, something delayed her back. So she told me to go and she will come. When I got there, I met the guy with some group of other guys.
Okay. Like how many of them?
There were up to 6.
Okay. No girl?
No girl. They were just talking, gisting, drinking and all that. Told me to sit and wait. I sat down.
Okay.
And after that, he asked me, do you want any drink? And I said, no, I don't want any drink. I came here for just the money to get the form, nothing else. And just talking, and I was like, are you going crazy? I'm not here for all these talks you're talking. I just want the money. So okay, before the time runs out, I could pay for the form and okay, stuff. And then, there was this sign language he gave to the other guys in the room.
Okay.
And I didn't really understand what the sign was. And then, they started shouting and talking in some coded languages I didn't understand. Yeah. And when I noticed the environment was getting too uncomfortable for me to stay, I just said within myself, there's no need getting money from this kind of person. He looks very dubious and all that. So I said, okay, don't worry about the money anymore. I'll just go home. I won't participate in the contest again. And that was where the whole trouble started.
Okay.
He refused. He told me, are you hungry? And then I said, I'm not hungry.
Okay.
I just want to go. When I said that, the other guys that he spoke the coded language to went outside to stay at the gate and the other one stood at the door. So there were just two guys in the room. And I kept insisting, please, I want to go. I don't want the money. Please, I want to go. And all he kept saying was, you're not going anywhere. So I picked up my phone and decided to call my friend or call an elderly person around. And I was dialing because I knew the situation was more than me and I. They were looking strong and built and didn't look like I could wrestle my way out of the room. So I became very calm and I was like, okay, see, I'm coming. I want to go and ease myself. And he said, no, what do I think I'm doing on my phone? And I'm not doing anything. And then he carried my phone and smashed it on the floor. Okay, I was like, you just smashed my phone? He said, yes, I know. You're not calling anybody. You're not going anywhere. So at that point, I started begging. I was like, please, it was just money I came here for. And if you won't give it to me, no problems. I was like, you're fine, girl. And he kept blabbing and blabbing. And I was just looking at the whole house and thinking of any item or anything I could just lay my hands on. And there was nothing available thing, no bottle, nothing around, just the bed. And then next thing I knew, he told me I should strip. And then I said, strip for what? He said, just strip or else he's going to use bottle and tear my body. And I said, okay. I took off my top and he was like, that's not all, still strip. I was like, I can't strip. He stood up and slapped me.
Oh my God.
He told me he's not joking with me and stuff, but I should still strip. And then when I knelt down on the floor and then I started begging him that I can't strip and that I want to go home. Then he dragged my bra with force and my bra tore. Then I was putting on a black three-quarter. Then he...
Three-quarter trouser or skirt?
Trouser. Then he dragged it and was struggling with the trousers with him and all that. He now pushed me to the bed. And I kept begging. And the next thing I said was, if I were to be your younger sister, would you be happy if someone does this kind of thing to you? And he was like, just shut up. And all I kept saying was, please, I just want to go, please. And I'm sorry. And next thing, he took off the trousers. And then when I started battling with him, I now shouted, God will not forgive you. God will not forgive you. Please, I'm begging in the name of God. Please let me go. And he refused. He started beating me up. Started slapping me. And he was slapping me. And I kept begging. And I was screaming. He used his hands to cover my mouth and was pressing me on the bed. And I kept saying, please, I just want to go home. He refused. And then he forced me. He told me to open my legs.
Please, we'll be right back. Welcome back. You can say it's not a very good one, but we must talk about this. And now, I will allow you meet my guest. Glory Kalu and Jones, sorry. You're welcome to my village and you're welcome to Get It Real with Ina.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We've seen the interview. It's not a good one, but we must talk about this. We must find solution to this. I'm coming to you. Ladies first. Let me start with Kalu. Kanu, what do you think about what is rape? You've seen so many people go through this experience. Share your experiences with us.
Okay, thanks for bringing me in. Well, rape is an issue that has been seen in so many different ways. The term rape, it's been defined differently according to who is involved, according to the age of this person with regards to sex.
Okay.
Rape for a child, which is termed a minor, is quite different from rape as an adult. Now, rape as a child, it's any form of touching, any form of persuasion, forceful taking over of a child's body, whether there is actual penetration of the penis into the vagina, or just mere touching, which we call digital penetration. Now, rape as an adult, of course, is simple, an act of forceful penetration without consent, or if consent is obtained under duress. Duress could be cajoling, duress could be bribery, duress could be anything that turns no to yes. But for children, it's not just under duress, it's not just forceful. In fact, for children, is taking advantage of them, because a child can hardly say yes or no.
Okay. And again, when I did the interview or documentary on rape, and I find out something, some people say the victims ask for it. Sometimes the way they dress, maybe where they are not supposed to be where they are. You know, like, let me take an example from the girl we interviewed.
Okay.
She was in her friend's boyfriend's house. I know it's not a yardstick for any man to rape a woman, but what do you make out of this?
Well, for me, I see myself as a specialist, as a professional. From all the trainings, from all the experiences, rape is never the victim's fault.
Okay.
Rape is never I tell people, no matter how new this person is, no matter how naked you think, it doesn't give you the license, or it doesn't give you the effrontery to approach this person and to rape this
Forcefully.
person. Now, the thing is, if you want sex, for instance, and you meet this person and the person says no,
Yeah.
you must respect the no. So dressing where you are, or some person said, I was going to buy something at night, I was on my way back from work, like some girls complained. I entered into a taxi and I was diverted to an uncompleted building or something, and I was raped. For me, what will you blame? The work that closes at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.? Or the person coming back from going to look for a means of livelihood? Or someone going to buy something, perhaps food to eat at night? What will you actually blame? So it's not a matter of the dress. I've also seen someone, I just shared this story. A girl told me especially that when she was in university, she had always worn these long gowns.
Yeah.
And one day she was abused. So what attracted the rapists or the abusers? The long gowns? So it's not just how you dress. I'm an ambassador of good dressing. I always tell young people, dress decently, dress well. But no matter how someone dresses, this person can also be a victim. So let's not just push it to dressing. Let's not just push it to standing out at night. It's a character that is actually growing up in the minds of people. Rape is bad. It's not just bad, it's evil. And it's also a crime.
Okay. We will take more of that, we'll hear more, but let's take a break. Welcome back to your show. We are still discussing rape. Tell us something about rape, about your experience with people.
The issue about how to handle, how to manage, or how the girl will really come back or come around starts from opening up. I call it speaking out. Even when we go to schools to speak with kids and teenagers, the first thing we tell them to do is to speak out. But there's a problem with speaking out, just like James Riley pointed out, the problem of stigma. You know, they're not accepted. When someone, even parents, when the kids or the children go to tell them, Mommy, Daddy, someone touched me somewhere, someone did this to me, the parents say, get out.
How do we educate our people, especially the boys or the men, to stop maybe raping girls, you know?
Now, the family has a major role to play, and which is educating the children, educating the family members. okay, making them understand that this is on now and they can stay free from it. It's not just educating them not to be abused,
Yes.
but also educating them about their own children, not abusing others.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a two-way thing. You know, as a parent, you don't need just to protect your child from being abused. You also need to protect your child from abusing others.
Which is even more important.
Okay, now on the part of the society needs to come up and say no to this.
Okay.
To come up and appeal to the consciences of the population.
Okay.
No to sexual abuse. No to rape. It's bad. You know, if a child is raped in a community, I'm yet to see what the community has to do. And also on the part of the government has actually done something. There are laws now that talks about if you sexually abuse a child, if you sexually abuse a child at this age, a child at that age, 14 years imprisonment and above, this, that, and stuff. So I think on the part of the government is settled.
Okay, I know we really want to talk, but we shall be right back because we must take a break and we're going to hear more on rape. The people you told, what has been their response?
At the end of the day, though I was threatened by the guy that if I tell anybody that he's going to make sure he comes to my school and shoots me. And so I told after the rape, when I was going home, I got into a taxi, and in the taxi I fainted. And then the girl in the taxi took me to the hospital. And when we got to the hospital, she didn't have money on her. So she called her friend's mom, who is a nurse, to rush down to the hospital. So when they came, they said they have to see my parents first before they commence treatment. And they took me in for medical examination and every other thing. So at night, when my mom came back from work, they told my mom she fell on the floor and she was crying and shouting and all that. So at the end of the day, she didn't do anything. She said due to the fact that they were bad boys and cultists, and for them to threaten me up to the point of going to my school, that she doesn't like it and she wouldn't like me to start going to school and going to court and owing to the course I'm studying in school. She wouldn't want that.
No response because you didn't tell anybody.
I told my mom.
Yeah, but your mom did not report to the police or a
she
lawyer.
Said, yes, she said she doesn't want to get entangled with court case and bad boys. Out of nothing, I just get irritated. I have attitude problem. And most of the time, I don't know, they just say I'm behaving strange towards them. Okay. I just get pissed unnecessarily though.
Okay.
I don't really like them like that coming close to me. Just have two friends who just try to keep me company most of the time.
What do you think about rape and girls? Is this thing awful? Do you think it's awful? Do you think boys do this often?
Yes, they do it every now and then, because after my case, barely a week, it was reported that he raped another girl.
This same boy?
Yes, another girl that is 13.
Wow. Sorry, how old were you when this incident happened?
I think I was 17 or 18.
Wow. Since after the rape, how are you coping? Have you received any form of counseling, advice, outside your parents, especially your mom? You know, how are you coping?
That's not been so easy. I lost concentration in school. My GPA dropped to 0.84, and my mom was complaining that I'm dropping academically. And most times in class, when they are lecturing, all I do is just cry all through the day. And I told my mom that I can't continue with school, that I want to quit and all that. And she though at first when I told her, she didn't buy the idea. She was saying, you're a law student, you have to study and be a lawyer and all that. So I took it maybe she still didn't understand what I was saying, because in school my seatmate would tell me, back then in year one you used to be very bright, and all of a sudden you're dropping, and most times you behave as if you're running mad in class. So I just said, don't worry, you want to understand. There's no need telling you. So basically right now I'm no more in school. I stopped school, yes.
Why?
I stopped school. So I told my mom my course needs a lot of brain concentration and reading, and since I wasn't getting any of those, none of those was going to what I was doing, I decided to stop, and I told her I will still go to school, but that would be next year. Yeah, so right now I'm no more in school, I'm just at home.
Because of this incident?
Yes.
Yes, welcome back to your show, Getting Real with Fina. We're still on the topic rape. It's not been easy, but we must do this. Jones, before we went on break before we went to see the clips, you wanted to say something.
Yes, talking about the solution, I like to take it from the root and from the society. You see, we have to realize that the root is the feeling of dominance. Most times, the people who perpetrate rape do not derive much sexual pleasure from it. It's just the feeling of dominance. They want to domineer the victim.
Really?
That is what urges them, apart from the homosexuals who might not find it easy to get a partner, and so who just try to force themselves on others. But you have to have this callous belief in your own ego for you to force your will and desire on someone else. And so from the male-female version, the society has to start by teaching our young men that you're equal, both male and female. So when your fellow man tells you no, and your woman tells you no, it has equal weight. Because most times, why it's rape is, I come to meet you and also have sex with you, and you tell me no, and I feel I want to. Yeah. Why should you say no? Who are you? And so he forces himself. We have to start by just teach everybody you are all equal. The weight of your words have equal powers, so that you don't push your rights beyond the limits into someone's own courtyard. I think that's where the root cause of rape is, and that's what we should attack.
Like I said before, the first thing is speaking out to someone you trust. The next thing is looking for care, medical care, psychological support. And the last one, which is ugly but very important, it's reporting to the authorities. We need to see this rapists, perpetrators, assailants prosecuted and sent behind bars. We need to see them on air. We need to see them on TV. We need to hear on radio that this number of persons have been jailed, have been, punished for doing this. It will serve as a deterrent.
Yeah. And for you, who is a victim, you don't have to kill yourself, because it is not your fault. Do not say it is your fault. Instead, it is that person who has abused and insulted your body. With this, I will always tell you, I am Owobu-Akhimien, and this is your show, Getting Real with Fina. Do not forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, website, Africa. I'm not going to do this today, but I'm loyal.